Okay, let's be real. You as a content creator are putting all this time and energy into creating your YouTube videos and no one is clicking. Now, you've probably clicked on this video because you want to learn how to make the best irresistible title. So I'm going to share with you one of the talks that I did at Grow with Video Live, which is our annual conference that we host here in Las Vegas. You can get details at growwithvideolive.com, but I wanted to share this particular one from one of our previous Grow with Video Lives because as I'm coaching content creators, as I'm helping entrepreneurs learn how to reach the right audience, there are some key elements that are missing when it comes to getting people to click on their videos. And one of those is having irresistible titles. So I'm going to be using examples from Think Media because we've posted over 1,000 videos. So we know what kind of titles work and don't work. And I want to help you make sure you're making the right titles for your videos. So let's jump into the talk that I did at Growth Video Live, all about creating irresistible titles.
You gotta just press record.
This video is sponsored by StreamYard. This is our go-to platform for live streaming to YouTube and Facebook, especially when we have multiple people joining us on a stream. With an incredibly easy to use interface for doing cool transitions, bringing in text on the screen, and seamlessly bringing on guests. This is the perfect platform for the new and experienced creators alike.
I want to ask you, do you buy magazines? Let me know in the chat. Do you still buy magazines? I was so fascinated the other day when I was in the grocery store with my kids. I was walking by and, there's like massive lines now in any grocery store. I'm like, isn't there self-checkout? Why can we not just, okay, so I'll stand in line here. And I'm standing there next to the rack of magazines, right? And I'm just looking at all the magazines and I think, do people still buy these? Like, I know that this was a thing at one point, but we have the internet now. Do people still buy these? Yes, people actually still buy magazines. Actually, the magazine industry itself is still a $28 billion, with a B, dollar industry every single year. Even with the internet, it's still a $28 billion business as an industry as a whole. And you know why? Because people are buying magazines because of the big idea and the titles. People are buying magazines because of the headlines on the covers. Did you know that baked inside of magazines are hundreds of articles, but they choose the very best ones that they have tested through multiple layers before it actually hits the newsstand? They are giving you the best headlines, the best titles, and is still a $28 billion industry. So I want to do a case study. I want to share with you some of the things we've learned at Think Media when it comes to the titles that are performing the best. I'm going to break down 3 things that we've learned from the titles that are performing the best over the last year at Think Media. So I took a screenshot, and here's actually the top titles. You'll notice that there is a blank out because here at Think Media, we are now at the point where we are running advertising. And so I blanked out the advertising, so you're only seeing the top 10 videos on our channel. These are the top 10. And I want to tell you the number one thing we learned: how-to content works. But Heather, I don't do how-to things. But Heather, I want to vlog. Let me tell you, how-to content works. We have, like Sean said, posted over 1,000 videos on Think Media. This is over the last 365 days. And out of all of our videos, 7 out of 10 videos have how-to content in them. Why is that? Well, because 30% of people that go to YouTube are actually starting with the words how to. Because they have a problem, they're trying to figure out, how do I do this thing? How do I submit for a marriage license? How do I homeschool my kids? How do I use Adobe software? How do I learn how to use a Canon camera? They're asking the how-tos. Videos show and tell. Write that one down. Videos will show and tell. So if you're going to walk someone through how to do anything, you get to show how to do that. So how-to content works. Here is something amazing too. Out of the last 365 days, our YouTube search was at 38%. 16 million views came from people searching in the search bar. That is how powerful YouTube how-to content is. Number 2 that we learned, call out who it's for. We talk in the first session about the YouTubepreneur. The second session, I went deeper into the reverse engineer of who do you help and how do you help them. And what we learned from our Think Media, what we learned from that is that beginner content for us was 3 out of 10 of our actual videos. And if you are, 3 out of 10 of our videos had beginner in them. The word beginner, call out who it's for, beginners. We're not actually helping our colleagues. Like when I think about Roberto Blake, Catherine Manning, Sunny Lenarduzzi, we're not actually making content for them. And this is where a lot of creators go wrong. They start making content for their level. No. We want to help beginners learn how to do YouTube. So 3 out of 10 of our videos had the word beginner in them. So what I did is I actually went and did a word tree where you can plug all of these into Google Word Tree, and it breaks it down so you can see the most used words. What do you see here? YouTube video and beginners. What do we make content about at Think Media? YouTube and for beginners. We talk about phones, we give tips, but these are the most generalized words that we are getting on our channel. Top 10 videos, this is what we're learning. You want to call out who it's for. Number 3, you want to dominate with keywords you want to own. Dominate with keywords that you want to own. So what do we want to own here at Think Media? Well, we want to own the word YouTube. We want anyone who is interested in learning how to grow an audience on YouTube, anyone that wants to learn how to build a personal brand on YouTube, anyone that wants to understand the dynamics that you can do to build an empire through YouTube, we want them to see our videos. So we want to dominate that word. Another word that we're trying to dominate is smartphones. We're trying to dominate the ability to create content with your smartphones. Most people think you need to have big fancy equipment, and here at Think Media, as you've seen, Omar broke it down exactly how to do content with your phone. Now I've got a bonus tip for you, because you might be asking yourself, okay, Heather, I kind of have an idea of the type of content that I want to be making. I think I know the title that I want, but in any type of marketing, copy matters. And a YouTube title is actually a headline. It's the same as a blog post headline. It's the same as an email subject line. The title matters. The title matters. So I have a bonus for you, and that is to actually use a headline tool to help you craft your title. Use a headline tool to help you craft a title. I'm going to walk through a quick example so you can see this. And I've got a website for you that you need to make sure you write down, where you'll have free opportunities to actually analyze the titles that you want to use for your videos. So let's take this example of one of our top 10 video titles, the best copyright-free music for YouTube videos, top 3 sites. If you go to a site called headlines.coscheduler.com, headlines.coscheduler.com, you'll need to enter in your information. This is a site they're going to ask for your information, so your name, your email. If you have a company, it's just going to ask you basic general information, so you can enter that for free. They will email you because they will want you to come on board with them. But I'm going to show you the free stuff that you can do. And we use the free stuff here at Think Media. I'm all for FREE. That is my game. So what happens when you go to headlines.coscheduler.com? Well, you will see the analytics of your title. Anyone else geeking out about analytics on your YouTube channel? Well, I'm going to show you the analytics of your title. So I've entered here the analytics of our title, best copyright-free music for YouTube videos, top 3 sites. And it actually is going to start breaking down for me that ding, 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 we scored really high. Your goal is to try and get to 100. We've never gotten to 100, but you want to stay in the green. Go for green when you're writing titles and using this tool. So if you enter a title and it doesn't have enough words that would make the title enticing to a viewer, it will score you lower. And then it will give you tips to be able to increase your score, which increases the ability for your viewer to want to click on your title. So what I love here is it's telling me how many common words I'm using. It's telling me how many uncommon words I'm using. It's telling me the emotional words that I'm using. This is all breaking down how to do great headlines and great titles. It's showing me the word count that I'm using. In this one, I'm using 11 words, which is average. You don't want to use too little or too much. It's telling me the character count, so I did 58. It's also telling me the reading grade level. The reading grade level helps me to know who I'm talking to. Not that you're at a 6th grade reading level, but I just want it to not be too far above. I'm not talking to scholars. I'm talking to normal, everyday people who are gonna pick up their phone and create a YouTube channel. So I wanna make sure that the language and the words that I'm using are in that level of reading grade. And then lastly, it's gonna show you some of the positive words that you have, and what I love the most is the skimmability. If you're a speed reader, if you're someone who's looking at all the different thumbnail options that you have as you're walking through your YouTube homepage, you are skimming titles, and it'll show you what the best skimmed titles are. So that's a quick tool you can use, headlines.coscheduler.com. And I wanna review these for you. So number 1, how-to content still works. Write that down. What video can you make in your niche that will share how to do something? How to fill in the blank. Number 2, call out who it's for. If you are making breastfeeding videos for new moms, you're calling out who it's for. If you're doing tax advice for high-level entrepreneurs, you're calling out who it's for. If you're doing how to fix your engine for beginners, you're calling out who it is for. And then lastly, you want to dominate with the key words that you want to own.
Did you hear that Grow with Video Live 2022 is back in person? This is your opportunity to network with like-minded people just like you, to make friendships, to make business partnerships. This is your opportunity to get in the room. You can get your ticket now at growwithvideolive.com. They're going so fast, so make sure you get your ticket right now at growwithvideolive.com.